Hey guys, how's it going? It's Jewel Tolentino here. Alright, so in this video, I'm going to be doing a review on Audible. Alright, so if you don't know what Audible is, it's basically a company owned by Amazon, and it is audiobooks. So Audible is an app that you can use on your phone, and you can purchase and listen to audiobooks. And these are usually the books that you find in regular bookstores. The author will often narrate their books and make them available on Audible. These days, when a new author is releasing a book, a physical book, they will likely be releasing it on Audible at the same time. So I have been using Audible for about half a year now, and it's pretty much replaced the radio in my car. The music that I would usually play, I now only play Audible books. Now don't get me wrong, I still do listen to music, but I found for personal growth that listening to audiobooks on a constant basis about something that I'm interested in really helps me grow as a person. So I paired up listening to audiobooks on the way to and from the gym. So I do about a 20-minute drive into downtown Vancouver there and back, and during those times I'm playing some audiobooks on my Audible app. And I pretty much just play it on my phone here. I have a mount in the front dashboard area of my car, and it just mounts, and instead of playing music, I'm playing audiobooks. So this is what the app looks like. It's in the corner there, the orange one. It's a logo of a book opening up. And when you go into it, this is the current library that I have going on. I just finished listening to Atomic Habits twice. I actually listened to that one. It was about a 5-hour audiobook, and then when it finished the next day, I just started it up again. It was that good. For me, I've been wanting to change certain habits of mine for a long time, in particular with wanting to lose weight, and I have a tendency to gravitate, as many people do, gravitate towards, junk food. I have this addiction to wanting a pizza or a burger if I'm out. When I'm watching a movie, I need to have a certain type of food with going to the theaters. I can't just go to the theaters and just sit there with a water. I'll need a popcorn, a burger, some nachos, something like that. And the book Atomic Habits, the one that I listened to straight twice, helped me to understand where those habits came from, why they're happening, and how to create new habits to replace those ones. So I actually do highly recommend Atomic Habits if you guys have not heard of it or even checked it out. I will have a link down in the description below of my recommended Audible books. Typically, when I'm getting an Audible book by someone, I like it when the author of the original book is narrating the Audible book as well. Sometimes there are authors that will hire like a voice actor to read out their audiobook, but I find that that's a disconnect for me. So for me personally, I usually only get audiobooks by the actual author and narrated by the author. That's just a personal preference of mine. But here is a little bit of my library. After Atomic Habits, I'm now listening to The Alter Ego by Todd Herman, where he talks about how you need to step into an alter ego, basically being someone else in order to perform at a different level. So he gave an example of how some athletes do this. They're a different person off the court, and then when they get on the court, they actually embody an alter ego, whether it be an animal or a person. I just started that one, so that is what I'm currently listening to. I would recommend Audible to those who especially have a hard time reading. For me specifically, growing up, reading was not a strong suit of mine. I do read physical books, but I find that I learn better with listening and watching. So obviously I can't be watching anything while I'm driving, so I thought maybe I'll listen instead. My business partner Urit actually loves reading, and she's always carrying around a book with her as well. And I recommended to her to also start listening to the audiobooks with the physical books that she's read. I believe Audible still does a free book for new users. If that is still going on, I will have a link to that down in the description below. So overall, I do love Audible. I'm constantly listening to it. I'm also, you get a new credit every month, and I don't necessarily go through the whole book in 1 month, but you still get these credits that build up. So I think I have like 2 or 3 credits right now. And even though I don't have a book coming up, you can save them up and use them towards books when you are ready to get one. I like how you can use the app offline, so you don't need to be online to listen to your audiobook. So I would definitely recommend using Audible while you drive. Try it out for a week or even 2 or 3 days straight. Don't listen to any music and choose an audiobook that you would like to listen to. They do offer free samples of a chapter when you are online looking on the site. So before I get an actual audiobook, I go on the website and I play a sample chapter of that book to listen to the person's voice, because I will admit there are some audiobooks that don't really resonate with me. Might be the person's voice, energy. So I would recommend to play that sample chapter before you get a book. But if you do end up getting a book that you don't like, you can return it and exchange it for another one. Listening to Audible is one of those things that I need to do on a constant basis. I'd rather be listening to an audiobook than what news stuff that's happening on the radio, gossip stuff that's happening on the news shows, on the radio shows. I'd rather be learning and growing. All right, guys, so that was my review of Audible. I highly recommend it. Try it out for yourself. Head down to the description below where you guys can check out my recommended Audible books. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.